Friday, baby.
Finally. It's Friday. And guess who's here?
Ixiim! Yes! We're going to have such a fabulous show today. I'm so excited. We got our little Adalway glow up. So we've got things today, guys. We've got new buttons and tricks.
Oh, Misty Dickinson's coming into town, and she just said, "Hi, Ixiim. I hope I get to meet you in April."
Same.
Misty.
I hope so, Misty. Let us know when you're going to be here.
Yeah,
I wanna
let's
meet ya.
sidebar. Gosh, I hope it's not the 28th because that's when I have to go to Florence and the Machine.
Oh.
But no, hopefully, yeah, we can line the stars up. We would love to see you, Misty. That'd be amazing. But yeah, we've got some new bells and whistles. Mel, you've got a new fancy pants stream deck.
Yeah, it's right here.
She's only clicking buttons, y'all. She's clicking buttons.
Doing the most.
So hopefully everything will go fabulous. We're going to say a little prayer.
Please stand by, because I'm just going to go ahead and say I probably will hit the wrong button. But you know what? It's okay. It's freaking finally Friday.
It's Freak Show Friday. That's
and we're
right.
amongst friends, Mel, so, it doesn't matter.
That's all good.
All right. Well, we got history rising in the plaza. We're going to be talking about that. We got scandal shaking authority, a tiger that looks like it crawled out of folklore, and a famous rapper that's doing the most for the women's hockey team.
Yay.
Yes. Let's do a little snap it a roo.
Flavor Flav.
Let's snap it out for Flavor Flav. That's a man, baby. I love that. This show is not slow news today. That's for sure. So check your pulse and your planet because we're on Planet Sunny TV. And before we unpack this and the TLDR, we got to talk about Mel with the Sunny Snack Scene. What's going on, boo?
Well, Ixiim brought something for us to taste test today. I'm a little nervous because it looks like grapefruit, and I absolutely hate
this came from
grapefruit.
Patty Capshire. Thank you, Miss Patty, for
Yay.
finding us
Yes.
a pomelo.
So we're
Okay, I
going
have
to
to show
taste
part
test
of it.
that.
So we're going to try a pomelo today.
I'm showing it on camera, so let's
Look
see.
at
Can
that.
you see this? This is half of it. I peeled half of it off because it does have like a very unique
It gave
kind of
me
feel.
like grapefruit vibes, but it doesn't smell like grapefruit, but I'm going to try it.
Where do pomelos come from?
I believe they are from Asia. That's why they're like so popular there during
You
the
think
Lunar
Punch
New Year.
the Monkey likes them?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Oh,
I'm
we
sure
love
he does.
Punch the Monkey.
Punch the Monkey. Every day it's a new
Punch
saga with
the
Punch.
Monkey update. He's getting moved to a special monkey
Because
sanctuary.
he's
it's not
experiencing a lot
safe.
of stress right now because of all this. So
I thought he had friends. You keep sending me things that he has friends and he's fine.
He has a friend.
I moved on and now he's not good.
No, the friend he made is going with him.
Oh,
Okay.
They're sending Oak Shoe. What's his name? Oak.
Yeah.
But we today's show is stacked. The band is back together. Our girl Ixiim is here, and I'm
I to
so
the X to the I to
excited.
the I to the M.
And I'm so excited because the three of us get rolling. Things get interesting. And we're teasing an event that means mystical, one leans meaningful, and a community gathering. Ugh, I'm so sick of that word. That raises both pints and hope.
Hey, I got sunshine shenanigans today. And if you've ever been in the food service industry, you're going to want to listen to this because I got a story
Jesus.
about a waitress who has let know some customers. It's spicy.
Sounds messy. But on my segment today, we're not going to talk mess. We're going to wrap up Black History Month and kick off Women's History Month, which starts Monday.
Hey.
Wait, Sunday. Sorry, the 1st of March.
Sunday,
My days are all wrong.
Sunday.
And we're going to talk about Zora Neale Hurston, who's a local legend here in town. So we're also going to talk a lot about Florida. We're going to talk about all the ways that Zora Neale Hurston had an impact here, and then what we can do on the broader scale for Women's History Month. Wait, quick tip
Yeah.
before you eat this.
Okay.
So, my sonnies, if you find a pomelo, here's the one mistake people make. You can't eat the membrane. Do you see this?
Oh.
You have to peel it off
Like
and
an
just
orange,
eat
you
the
eat that
inside.
part. Okay.
So, you got to peel it. Otherwise, if you eat that stuff, that's bitter. That's going to taste like,
So you can't eat the...
No, you peel it off and like everything comes out in one piece.
Does it have to be called membrane?
You know what? You know what I learned from at the gym the other day? All
Lord.
of us, like older coaches, there's not many of us.
Seasoned.
I said to the kids, I said to them, I said, one of the kids said she learned something in science class. We're talking about that. So I looked at some of the older coaches. There's three of us.
Echo.
And I said, what do you remember from science class? All of us at the same time said, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah.
And the kids were like, what? I'm like, that's the only thing I remember from science class. Don't make fun because you guys do too.
By the way, poor Patty, she learned that the hard way this morning that you do not eat the membranes with the.
I see that.
Sorry, Patty.
Oh my God.
I
Oh,
should have
hey,
put
Jess.
the PSA out sooner, but thank you for the pomelo. Yes, do not eat those membranes because they
Insane
taste.
in the
But
membrane.
you know what? You guys, you know
Insane in the
what?
brain.
the mitochondria is the powerhouse
House of the
of the
cell.
cell.
The mitochondria at the powerhouse
So
of the
just
cell.
so all of you know, what do you remember from science class? It's probably the same
Lord,
damn
we
thing.
have
So there you go.
Protons, neutrons, and electrons.
Yeah, proton.
Hey,
what's up?
we're also going to be talking about some fancy statue that we just got in the plaza. Well, we're closing out Black History. We're
make
going
it
to
nice.
talk about it. We'll get into it. It's a nice thing. Good gesture, goodwill. We'll talk about it, yeah.
All right. And this so-called fire tiger.
My story. I'm very
That-
excited about this
At
one.
least it's not an Egyptian story because you will keep getting bumped.
Oh, the
That
poor
I know.
Egyptian story keeps getting
Guys,
bumped this week.
Fire tiger has scientists and storytellers equally intrigued.
Yes.
If we
Ixiim,
stay
don't
on
even-
track,
Don't even talk about it because it's not
we
happening.
may talk about some ancient
We're
Egyptian
talking about
artifacts.
Flavor Flav instead.
Hey, that's amazing. I like that.
Sonnies, if you've been watching us all week and know these intros, we've been talking about this ancient Egyptian story that keeps getting bumped every day. So maybe we get to it. If not,
We're not.
it'll go to Monday.
We already
We'll
took it
find
out of the stack pre-show. I can't. All
We
right.
also are going to be talking about a great cause, Pints for Parkinson's. Yes, it's coming up in April, but it's really good to save that date. We'll get into that for events. And then what
Look,
do you got?
I don't even like beer, but I would probably do this. I'll just pour the beer on the floor and pretend like I'm drinking
I'll
it.
drink it. God bless.
Plus, a throwback throwdown. Dear Marvelous Mail Letters, I can't wait to see what you people wrote me. And I love that you write me because you know my advice is perfect and on point. Plus, commercials you actually love.
That's very
We're
good.
going to be talking curiosity, accountability, legacy, and mystery.
I love it. Story, energy, and conversation, which is always good because it's fierce.
It's fresh.
It's Sunny TV, baby! And now a quick word from our title sponsors, the Bailey Group and Steve Chapman's All American
That's
Air.
my best friend.
Be ready for anything with the Bailey Group, an NFP company. Life is full of unexpected moments. Whether it's securing your family's future, protecting your business, or planning for individual wealth, the Bailey Group is here to guide you every single step of the way. Since 1954, the Bailey Group has been a trusted cornerstone of the St. Augustine community. Under the leadership of President Mark Bailey, they've grown from a local agency into a nationally recognized firm, offering tailored solutions for individuals, families, and businesses, with a focus on individual health and life insurance, Medicare solutions, group insurance, and property and casualty commercial coverage. The Bailey Group combines cutting-edge technology, strategic partnerships, and personalized service to deliver the peace of mind you deserve. Give them a call today, 904-461-1800.
Hi, I'm Steve Chapman, owner of All American Air Conditioning and Heating. For over 40 years, we've been serving St. Augustine and the surrounding areas. We're the largest HVAC dealer in St. Johns County, providing high-quality service and products. With courteous technicians responding to your HVAC needs, our expertise will give you confidence in your investment. Family-owned All American Air Conditioning, voted best of St. Augustine for more than 20 years running.
Okay, I'm having a great time over here. Let's go to the weather.
Ray, I want to see you try the pomelo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I'm not there
Oh,
yet.
I'm so ready to try it.
No, we're doing my weather first.
Okay.
I'll just have my spice and
You
tea.
get to control the whole thing. I'm driving this bus. All right, so today's weather, boop, boop, weather button. So today's going to be a high of 81. There's a little baby chance of rain, but it's only going to last for like 30 seconds to maybe 1 hour. That's a, you
So
know,
Florida.
it's very scientific
God
number.
bless, so Florida.
So we're at 13% thunderstorms. There's my number again, 13.
That's right, all week.
Yeah,
What's
I got to
going
get my
on?
lottery ticket.
Uh-huh.
And then tonight it's going to be about 59. Get out of my shot.
I'm trying to see
Get
what
outta
the
here.
buttons look like while
Oh,
you're
my.
They
talking.
look like this. All right, so now let's get into Details by Dean.
Details
Yeah.
by Dean.com.
So today it's a food holiday. It's National Ixiim's fruit she brought us, which is the palm olive fruit.
Pomelo.
Pomelo.
So here's this.
Pomelo.
We're gonna taste it now.
Yeah, taste
Okay,
it.
am I
wanna
allowed
see.
now?
Yeah, David kept trying to reach in there before time. I had to slap his hand.
Okay, notice the membranes are off.
Ew, don't say that word.
Oh, when you pop the membrane off, it's
Ew,
really.
Stop saying that.
I love it. That's a woo. That's a real
I like this.
Right? It's like a grapefruit, but sweet and like a honeysuckle
It just lifts
thing.
your ass. Yeah, I
So
love
now
it.
here we go. Here's some famous birthdays: Elizabeth Taylor, Joanne Woodward, Adam
Wait, well,
Baldwin.
you just can't just breeze over Elizabeth Taylor
Liz
like it's some
Taylor.
sideshow. We need to say it with some dignity, grace, and
Oh,
yeah.
you know what? White diamonds for Christmas for everybody.
Oh,
You're
what
gonna
a lady.
smell like 1997 all over again.
What a lady. I love Liz Taylor.
Grant Show, Timothy Spall, Kate Mara, Lindsay Morgan,
Who?
Jenny Boyd, Kate Mara. Read, pay attention to your script.
Okay.
Musicians, here we go. Josh Groban, because you lift me up,
You
David.
raise me up. That was flat enough, key. Go ahead.
Johnny Van Zant from Skinhead.
Rosonda Thomas, TLC Chili.
Hey. And what else do we have here? Athletes. James Worthy was born today. I'm done with these birthdays.
No, go
Oh
to.
my God, JWoww, it's your
Yes.
birthday today.
I just saw that one.
I had to up the
Yeah.
font on the JWoww
Yeah.
because I didn't
That
want
was
her
the
to miss
hint.
that. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of...
Did you like JWoww? And where was
yes.
she from? The Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Sure, but
So can I tell you who my... Okay, let
This
me
is
give
excellent.
you a little scoop here before we get into this long-ass music report.
This is excellent.
It's no secret out there that I love Bravo, the Bravoverse. I love Real Housewives. I love reality TV.
Oh my God, Mary.
So that's what I want to talk about real quick. We're segueing into this.
Okay.
Oh.
Mary Crosby is from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't know if many of you watch it, but
Yeah.
We do.
she was one of the first people. Her son was going through active addiction and all that, and she opened up the cameras and she opened it up. It's a scene of her and her son sitting in her room, and she had an open and honest conversation, and he was open and honest back. She sent him to a rehab facility to get better. He got
Promises
better.
or something, yeah.
He comes home. He then gets arrested, comes home again, and he was home for 3 weeks. And on Monday, he overdosed. She had to administer the Narcan herself, and I give her credit.
Sakes.
And when you administer Narcan to someone, you immediately need to call 911 because you
Yeah.
can do 2 shots within like 3 minutes or something, but their heart can still stop. So it's a misconception because people sometimes will do the Narcan and they don't call 911 and the person will still die. By the time, and they released the 911 call, and by the time the paramedics got there, he had already passed.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So
sad.
she finally released a statement yesterday, and she's like, please give us privacy. But the whole reality TV Bravo universe is really coming together for her. And you guys, I tell you what, I give her a lot of credit for opening it up and talking about it, and with her son.
Yeah.
So
I agree. It's
Mary
a hard
Crosby,
topic.
I know you're probably a Sunny fan because you and I are meant to be friends. We support you and we're here for you, and that's why it's so important for everybody out there to support organizations like Epic Behavioral Healthcare. That's what they do. So
Yeah.
they also give out free Narcan, so if you need it, you can go and pick some up there. So there's my PSA about
right.
the reality world and how much I love Lisa Rinna. That's another one.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
All
Music
right.
report.
Thank you. That probably covered a whole story. Let's go
Yes.
into music reports. Drum it, hum it down. I'll do an abbreviated version so we can get into Ixiim real quick. February 27th. Today we got Heather Craig at Trade Winds Lounge at 1. Brett Blackshear at Meehan's at 1. Damon Slaughter, Bin 39. Mike Cook at Conch House. Both of them are playing at 4 o'clock today. Adam Grayford, Milltop Tavern at 4:30. Joe Downing, Guy Harvey Resort at 5. Landfall, the Shores Country Club at 5 o'clock. Jeremy Price at the Boathouse St. Augustine at 5. Rob Peck, Tides Oyster Company at 6. Bad Dog Mama, Casa Divino, 57, 7 o'clock tonight. It's a trivia thing, so it's a $15 cover charge, but a lot of fun. Casa Divino. Brian Rowland at Finn McCool's Irish Pub and Restaurant at 7. Dyer Davis, Mellow Mushroom in Marabella. We got the Space Heaters over at Stogie's. We don't see Stogie's often. That's good to see them back on the list. 9 o'clock. John Q, Milltop Tavern at 9 o'clock. And finishing off tonight, oh, it's a good one. Marshall Horn at PK at 10 o'clock.
yay.
Some
Good
great
job,
expectations for those buddies.
People are looking for a company. I want people to have great expectations. We are a small family-owned brokerage. What that means is you get really personalized service and everything is very hands-on. You're not just getting tossed onto the MLS and crossing our fingers. We're very aggressive with our marketing. We're excellent with communication. We have a lot of amazing relationships in the community, so you're getting the advantages of all of those things.
It's not a grapefruit. It's
No.
yeah.
No, it's actually,
different.
but I did get a piece where it's still some of the white because I'm
Oh, I
not
didn't
saying
clean
the
it real well.
word.
Yeah, sorry.
Membrane.
Shut
It's
up.
a little bitter. It's bitter, isn't it? Sorry, Patty. We should have sent that out instructions.
But you know what? Let me tell you, I kind of like bitter things. I'm the person who doesn't like sweet
After
lemonade.
all these years in the streets, I love bitter. All right, speaking of in the
All
streets,
right.
we're getting into our cultural segment. Of course, it's Friday with our homegirl, Inspo with Ixiim.
Hello, my darlings. So today I'm wearing purple.
My favorite color.
And so I'm going to do
Barbara
a little
Jean's favorite
mini
color.
pop quiz. My favorite too, Barbara Jean. Why am I wearing purple today?
Women's Day.
Women's History Month.
Very good, very good. Bing, bing, bing. They
She
both
got
it.
half credit. Women's Day. It's a whole month.
Well,
You
it started
copied
out
me.
as a day, so actually it's
See?
a great segue. So today I'm wearing purple and green, and I had a white blazer, but it's back here. It's hot already. And it's in honor of the 3 colors that represent Women's History Month.
Okay.
Purple, green, and white. And it's kind of interesting. We've talked about colors a lot, like with Lunar New Year, red and gold are the predominant colors.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras,
Right.
it's the purple, the green, and the gold.
Just so you know,
Yes.
it's Women's History Month. 'cause the
Perfect.
graphic said so.
Look how beautiful, everybody. New additions.
So purple, it's tied to royalty and all that, but it's also means dignity, honor, visionary thinking, and justice.
Money,
so
power,
purple is
respect.
the predominant color that you will see for Women's History Month. And then green, it represents growth, hope, and new beginnings. Then white, it was the color of the suffragettes. So if you think about our U.S. history, the suffragettes wore white, and it was this symbolism of purity, freedom, and equality. However, the purity thing has taken sort of an interesting turn, so you don't see very many people referring to the white purity anymore. But there are very symbolic colors, and so as we kick off Women's History Month, which begins Sunday, I thought I'd share a little bit about the history of Women's History Month. So for those of us who are here in the U.S., our Women's History Month started with the inception of something back in 1909.
Oh, wow.
So in 1909, there were laborers up in New York, garment district workers, who were trying to fight for equal rights and just more sanitary rights, breaks, higher pay. They were being underpaid, these female workers. So they created this day to sort of go out and rally. They staged a protest, a peaceful protest, to ask for more rights. And that day was sort of honored throughout the years. It was actually February 28th, which is tomorrow. But in 1978, a group of teachers and educators, leaders in Sonoma County, California, so back to California we go, banded together and realized that they were not sharing enough about the history of women in the United States, that textbooks didn't tell the story of women in the U.S. So what they did at that time is they banded together and they decided to have a Women's History Week in Sonoma County, California. They had essay contests, they had classroom instruction, and they did all this as a group of women organizers who just decided to do something different in their community. Well, it caught the attention of other groups around the nation, and in 1979, you saw some other cities also doing Women's History Week activities. In 1980, Jimmy Carter finally passed a resolution based on all of what they were seeing in the community to have a Women's History Week.
Okay.
So it was just a
So
week.
went
was
one
it?
day to
One
a week.
day to
Okay.
a week. And then later in 1987, it was pushed by this group called the National Women's Alliance, and they pushed to have a whole month, and that's when the entire month was dedicated to women's history. So it started out from a single day of women protesting for more rights to 1978, a group of leaders in a community deciding that they wanted to do something to change the narrative and to share more stories, to tell a more complete version of our history. Those leaders created something that now we recognize at a national scale. And I just think that's really beautiful. The fact that you have locals who decided to do something in their community. They thought it was just something, I don't want to say small, but I don't think they realized the impact that their actions would have these decades later. They really changed the shape of how we honor and celebrate this month simply by taking action in their school district. So, we often talk on this show, Sunnies, about ways to do things in your community, starting with small steps, small actions. And this story is such a great proof that something that you do, a singular action, can have such a larger impact because...
Like a ripple effect.
Yeah, think about it. It started with a group of 5 individuals. And I want to say their names because I think it's very important that we honor them. So, hold on. I'm going to get their names because I think it's really cool. I'm going to find it.
Okay.
I really have it, I swear. Oh, Molly Murphy McGregor, Mary Ruth's daughter, Maria Cuevas, Paula Hammett, and Betty Morgan. So those 5 individuals started something that would later become Women's History Month. And I just think that's pretty
Yeah.
special, right? It's really cool. And why do we still honor and celebrate Women's History Month? Well, our history still doesn't tell the complete history of our country, or even for that matter around the world. We often don't see women's stories elevated to the same extent as male stories. History books are often, they're written by the winner, as they say. And for so many years, women didn't have very many rights. So they didn't have the voice to share their stories. And so they're often overlooked. And it's interesting now that we're still seeing this happen. I mean, case in point, what happened at the Olympics, right?
Yep.
So we'll get to Flavor Flav because I think it's freaking amazing. And
Yeah.
it's so in line with Women's History Month. The point of Women's History Month is to elevate these stories, to share your voice, to lend your strength to other female voices, to female history, to lift others up. We still see an inequality and gap in publicity coverage. In sports, we see differences in sponsorships and support. And in pay, there is still a very distinct gender pay gap for women in the workforce, that women earn. I think the last stat that I saw, and there's probably more recent, was in 2020, women were earning 82 cents for every man's dollar.
Yeah.
I know, it
Stupid.
sucks. It's really terrible. So, the other really cool thing about Women's History Month is it kind of bookends Black History Month. So we're finishing out Black History Month, and we're kind of diving into Women's History Month. And there's such a beautiful parallel in a lot of these stories, because Black History Month is intended to elevate the stories of Black Americans here and their impact on us as a country and as in our communities. And so then you dovetail that into Women's History Month, and it's a similar sort of story, right? We're elevating stories that are not often told or that were overlooked for years and years and years. One of those stories that I want to share that I did some more research about was Zora Neale Hurston. Because we've heard her name mentioned several times on the show. I forget who it was. They were talking about the house on West King Street. And Zora Neale Hurston spent several years living here in St. Augustine, and she really helped change not just Black literature, but American literature. And she also helped give a spotlight to one of our dear beloved landmarks, which is Fort Mose. So Zora Neale Hurston is probably most well known for her book, Their Eyes Were Watching God. And this is my old school copy. Like, this is from high school, I think. I still have it. So I've still got this copy. And she was actually a resident of St. Augustine for quite a few years. She wrote her autobiography while she was living in a house on West King Street. She was also a part-time professor at a local university in town. Back then it was called the Florida Normal School. Interesting name, but now I believe it's Florida Memorial University. And she was a professor there, but how she had found St. Augustine was she actually grew up in a town called Eatonville, Florida. Still exists to this day.
Yeah, they almost got the Black History Museum.
Yes.
We were up against them really hardcore with it was either going to be there or it was going to be in St. Augustine. I find this fascinating.
And I could see why. So Eatonville, Florida, back in the 20s and 30s, was the only all-Black city founded by Blacks, led by Blacks. I mean, there were others who lived there, but the predominant nationality or race there were Black Americans. And this is where Zora Neale Hurston grew up. Her father was a preacher in the town. He was a mayor at one point. Her mother was a teacher in town. She was one of 8 children, Zora Neale Hurston. She grew up in this town seeing that the business owners, the local lawmakers, all the leaders in the community all looked like her.
Yeah.
So her experience growing up was that she could do anything because everyone she saw in some position of authority or leadership or entrepreneurship, they were all Black just like her.
Yeah.
When her mother passed when she was 13, though, she was then sent up to Jacksonville. So she went to school in Jacksonville at a boarding house. It was a Baptist academy. And her father sent her up there because he was now newly remarried. And in any case, he sent her up there. And so she actually learned a lot about St. Augustine during her time when she was living in Jacksonville. There was a train that you could actually take from Jacksonville to St. Augustine. And she uses that as actually a part of a story that she wrote. I think it's called, hold on, I pulled this name too.
I think it's interesting too because when we're going to be talking about Frederick Douglass a little bit later because we just got a beautiful memorial statue of him in our plaza. But he has a very similar story too. Majority of his civil rights activism was through Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And he came down here for one beautiful, big, bold speech
Yep.
about civil rights. But I find that interesting that majority of their work was in the Jacksonville community, and then it trickled down here to St. Augustine, which is significant.
It's absolutely significant. And the story that she wrote based on that train from Jacksonville down to St. Augustine is called Color Struck. And I think one of the reasons St. Augustine was so special for a lot of these individuals, we talked about this earlier in the month about how St. Augustine was still segregated till quite some time later. So they were knowingly coming to a segregated town. Why would they do that? Well, 3 miles north of our little downtown, it's still part of St. Augustine, is Fort Mose, which was the first free black settlement in the U.S. And it's such a special part of U.S. history, black history, but it wasn't a story that was very well known. So Zora Neale Hurston was actually, before she became known as being a writer, she was an anthropologist. She studied at Howard University, at Barnard University, during a time when not many women were receiving higher education, nor black women. Yet she found a way. She found mentors, people who supported her. She had sponsors who helped pay for her college education. And she was an anthropologist, and her task was to go around Florida specifically and study the black culture, culture, and capture it so that she could tell this story.
The Gullah Geechee tribe,
Yes,
a lot
all
of that. Yeah.
Yep. Voodoo, hoodoo, all of it.
Yeah.
So she wrote about it, and she studied it. She wrote about it. She included in research papers, but also there were plays that infused. With
But
some of the
fame wasn't
information.
overnight on this one. We really have to lean into this because literally
No.
she did all this research and all this storytelling, but fame was not apparent in this time period, right?
So back to why it's important that we tell women's stories. Her story was never told.
Yeah.
She wrote these papers. She wrote these amazing books that have changed American literature. And yet no one knew her story until 1970. At this point, Zora Neale Hurston had passed. She died in Fort Pierce, penniless, broke. She was beloved by her community there, though. She encouraged the children who were in her community to write. She was often known for talking to the kids and talking to them about writing. But she had passed penniless and broke because her work was still sort of unknown or kind of not given the spotlight that
I'm going to
to
say priceless
Yeah.
because they didn't know how to pay her.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking about that, she literally wrote a narrative for Southern black women in the 1930s.
Yeah.
That is unheard of.
It's
so
absolutely unheard
how
of.
did anybody pay her? They didn't know. They didn't know. Why
They
should
didn't
you know?
They didn't know. I don't think they knew the strength because back then literature did not focus on the Black American experience, and back then the Negro experience, as it was called, right? And she was the first to tell it in a way that wasn't downtrodden or riddled with shame. She told about it from a very humanistic perspective. The joys, the highs, the lows, everything.
Yeah.
And she was actually the first person to write about Fort Mose. I have to
Oh,
share
wow.
that. So
That is
the fact
excellent.
that Fort Mose is now a national park is due in large part to Zora Neale Hurston's work in capturing the history of that place and sharing that. She was, at that point, she was on a stipend from one of her mentors to capture all this. It was a part also of the New Deal package that they were sending anthropologists around the country and writers to capture things. She got funding through that. But prior to this, no one really knew much about Fort Mose. It was all oral tradition. It was, kind of common knowledge, but there was no written account of Fort Mose and its significance, and she was the first to do it. So the fact that we have this place as a national park here in our town is really due in large part to Zora Neale Hurston. When she finally received her due, if you will, was in 1970. A young author read about her work in a class she was taking in college. And that young author was Alice Walker.
Oh,
So
wow.
Alice Walker wrote The Color Purple, right? And she said she was inspired by reading these works from Zora Neale Hurston. But no one had ever heard of her. So for 5 years, she studied Zora's work. She studied her writings. She read her books. And then in 1975, she published an article called In Search of Zora. And it brought Zora Neale Hurston's name to the forefront. And people then started reading her work. And from then, now we know her as one of the greatest American literature writers of the Harlem Renaissance. It's such a spectacular story because it really is kind of what this month is about. It's finding those stories and helping to elevate them.
Yes.
I mean, how many women do we have in our lives who are doing phenomenal things and they do it silently?
Right.
They do it without recognition or fanfare, but they're making huge impacts, whether it's the teacher that helped you through a certain phase of your life, whether it's a grandmother who has sacrificed for you, whether it's that entrepreneur that you see that's making this massive difference in their community.
You know what I'm thinking about, you guys?
What?
I'm thinking about Cassie, the lady we talked about with the lung transplant.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
absolutely.
she's absolutely an incredible pillar
Absolutely.
for organ donation, and God, that just was something that really moved me this week.
Yeah.
So I can really see that. I'm really getting excited about celebrating Women's History Month because this is really something we're going to lean into.
Yeah, absolutely. And each year there is a different theme for Women's History Month. The National Women's Alliance selects a theme and they push that out. And this year I had to write it down again because I have a good brain, but sometimes I need a little help. It's leading Leading the change, women shaping a sustainable future.
Okay.
Leading the change. I like that.
And why this is so important and critical now is that you're hearing lots of talks about sustainability. And historically, women are the ones who lead the charge
Absolutely.
in efforts around sustainability, whether that's environmental, whether that's economic, whether that's educational. Women are often the ones pushing that forward. I mean, when we think about sustainability just from an economic and retail standpoint, think about all the vintage mavens, I'm going to call them. Those local badass women who are doing great things here in our town to talk about sustainable living and sustainable consumption. They're mostly females.
Yeah.
And there's
True.
something about the female, I'm not sure why.
Creative and empathetic spirit, absolutely, for everyone's journey and story. Just like Nora, Zora her writings are definitely not like defining or like how you have to be in culture. It was more like highlighting of what these cultures looked like. And I think that she really put a spotlight on so many different women in history, which is the evolution, which is amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, she really did make a difference in how women
and
were
unapologetic.
portrayed.
She did not give AF. Like, she was going to go what she was going to need to do, right?
Her books really kind of opened up the internal side of people, because so often Black characters that had been in books before were sort of one-dimensional, and women were one-dimensional. And so she wrote these amazing women who were layered and complex, and you heard about their internal thoughts and their emotions, and you saw what they were doing externally. So it was this very complete picture, whereas before that voice did not exist. And she did it unapologetically. I think in large part because she was raised to believe she could, and she had a mother who encouraged education. Her mother was a teacher, and her mother ensured that all 8 of her children were educated.
Wow.
She died when Nora was 13, but still she had instilled that seed in her. It's so important, these seeds that we plant in our youth around education, and you can see like the fruits of that. So for Women's History Month, we honor people like Zora Neale Hurston. We honor people like Alice Walker, who used her voice to shed a light on someone else's story. And I think that's the key message here with Women's History Month and this focus on sustainability isn't just economic, it's also cultural sustainability.
Right.
How are we ensuring that our culture sustains going forward, that all the cultures that are part of our beautiful country and our beautiful communities, how do we ensure that we don't lose any of that?
So going back and looking at the relationship between Zora and Alice Walker, I'm thinking we have to keep telling these stories.
Yes.
So, I mean, I really want to say that history buried Zora, basically. And Alice Walker dug her back up from the ground, gave her a brand new image and a new light, and then that's where she like lifted everybody up to the heavens.
Yeah.
I really think that that's really part of this journey here.
Absolutely.
So we've got to keep talking about all of these incredible accomplishments. We have to celebrate like women like the USA women's hockey team. We have to really bring that out because, gosh darn it, you guys really do start life, and it's absolutely a beautiful thing to celebrate women because we wouldn't be these incredibly creative and empathetic culture without them.
Yeah.
So that's why this month is so important to be able to lean into that and really celebrate the history of how we're able to stand where we can stand today.
Absolutely. Let's celebrate the stories. Let's lift up other women's voices, whether that's sharing podcasts or books that you've read by female authors or creators, whether it's going to your local businesses that are women-owned, whether it's supporting causes that support women in the community. We've got like the Girl Gang and all these other groups that are doing things to help women in our community. Supporting groups like that, using your voice to share someone's story, telling your own story, because by telling your story, you invite others to share theirs.
Yeah.
Investing your money wisely, whether it's where you spend your money, whether it's the causes that you give your money to, helping the next generation, being a mentor.
Yeah.
Reaching out and being a big sister or a mentor to some individuals. These are all things that we can do to honor the history where we came from and also help to create this amazing future going forward. So I'm excited for this month. I think there's so much that we can talk about. We can go on for days. But I think it's a great start to say, like, this month, Sonnies, this month is about elevating the voices and the stories and the histories of the women we know. A lot of women don't often share their stories or highlight their own successes. It's still
Right,
something
that's
that we are
true.
kind of taught to play small. So this month, I encourage you all, don't play small and don't allow your friends to play small. Lift others up, share your voice, and think about how we can carry forth the message of building a sustainable future through our own stories and our own efforts.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Folks, we're going to take a quick break with Maritime Creative and Flashes and Brilliance.
Maritime Vibe Check!
Fresh version.
When the lights come on and the magic begins,
There's a crew behind the scenes that always wins.
Maritime Creative, they set the stage.
From sound to lights to video waves.
Big show, small space, doesn't matter a bit.
They show up, they glow up, they make it all lit.
No panic, no chaos, just smooth, clean flow.
They take a wild idea and make it glow.
Need a vibe, they build it.
Have a dream, they get it.
From spark to spotlight, they never forget it.
I trust them, I love them, they come on through.
Maritime Creative, that's the real stuff, boo.
So if you want your moment to rise and shine,
Call the crew that always gets it right every time. It's Maritime.
Got gold? Got silver? Got a drawer full of what even is this? Then it's time to cash in with Flashes and Brilliance, Northeast Florida's most trusted gold buyers. They're not just buying gold, they're buying silver, rare coins, fine watches, estate jewelry, and all the sparkle you forgot you had. Don't just sit on your treasure. Turn it into cash today. Call John and Steph, the pros who make it easy. 904-540-7617. It's fast, it's friendly, it's Flashes and Brilliance, because your buried treasure belongs in your bank account.
Well, we got an event, something that I think that you know a lot about, which is the Mystic Fair, right? With the
Yes.
Casadega.
yes. Okay, so
I heard about this. Okay, go.
yes,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I talk about Casadega, and I think David thinks it's a made-up place that I made up in my mind, but it's not.
No, I was schooled that it's not. It's
Casadega,
real.
I don't know if many of you know, it is the #1 point in the U.S. where it's a little town on your way to Orlando. I think it's like outside of DeLand, and it's where all these psychics and mediums and people, they live in this one area.
They
And
say there's like an energy field there or
yes,
something.
when you
Like
get
there's
off,
some special.
yeah, when you get off the
Ooh, sound
highway.
bowl. Davey made the sound bowl noise. Sorry.
Shut up, sound bowl. Yeah, I hate a sound bowl. But it's very interesting. So this psychic fair, I think, is going to be great.
I think it's going to be cool. It's a mini Casadega,
No,
baby.
it's not. I wouldn't go
Okay.
quite that far.
Experience the psychic fair that is happening March 7th and 8th at the St. Augustine Shrine Club on Brainerd Drive. And apparently, we're all about the journey into the unknown. So, Ixiim, are we ready for this energy shift?
I think so. I mean, people go to Casadega from around the country. The first
Right.
time I drove through, I'm like, what is this place? We were looking for gas. But it is very well known. And I know.
There's no gas
We're
There's
looking
no
for
gas
spiritual
stations.
gas,
Weird
yes.
exit to get off on for gas. Didn't work
There's
out.
no gas station in Casadega.
But there's supposedly a lot of energy. So the reason psychics all go there is because there's this like massive energy, the way the plates are. I don't know. I don't know more. But that's why they go there. So at this fair, I think it's pretty neat. You're going to hear all about all the cool things that happen in Casadega. They'll have fortune tellers and gemstones, and you'll see all the different like modalities of psychic abilities. But I
And
think it's pretty
Katie's
cool.
doing fairy hair. I love that.
Yeah.
That's always a
That's
fun
pretty cool.
thing.
So this Saturday, it's from 11 to 6. Sunday is 11 to 5. It's indoors, so thank God to the air conditioning gods.
Thank
and
God.
Save from
Yeah.
Rain. Weekend admission is only $10. Kids 16 and under, they go for free. 16.
Oh,
Isn't that
pretty cool.
great? No ID.
And
Interesting.
everyone gets a free gemstone when they walk in.
Hey.
So there you go, friends.
The more you know.
You know what they're having there too? That what Katie mentioned this to us. That they're doing aura photos.
Oh, very cool.
Which I think is really cool. So they take a picture and of just your aura. I don't know.
Also,
I do it.
bring cash because a lot of the
Interesting.
vendors take cash.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, someone's doing Reiki there. Thank you, Stephanie. Great to
Oh,
hear about.
that's so
Yay!
fun. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Oh,
you.
hey, Stephanie.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Okay, so guys, Stephanie's amazing. If you haven't gotten a chance to meet her, she actually has a page on Facebook called Tangled in Tinsel, or Instagram. Tangled in Tinsel, and she starts talking about her journey of going gray with her hair. But she's like a
We talk
Reiki
about that a
master and
lot.
all of this. Like, you guys have to go check her out on Instagram. Yes, Stephanie, I creep on you.
Yes.
Shut up with the sound bowl.
I'm just saying. I'm sure that's my blessing. of,
here
like,
we
I'm
go.
good. That's-
What's next?
It's a language of frequency, okay? All right, we're talking about that statue. Frederick Douglass now stands in the as a bronze in the Plaza de la Constitución. And before anyone says, oh, that's just another statue, let's be clear. This is not decorative history. This is a very incredible historic moment. This is courageous history. In 1889, Douglas came to St. Augustine and delivered a speech that stirred the city. A formerly enslaved man who taught himself how to read and became one of the most powerful voices in America. He stood right here in our town and challenged the country to live up to its promises. So imagine that moment in the crowd, the tension, the conviction, the audacity of hope in a time that was not gentle. Now, his likeness stands in the civic center of our city. This is not random. This is a huge statement.
Yeah, it is! Exclamation point. What makes this significant is the context. The Plaza de la Constitución has been the heart of civic life in St. Augustine for centuries. It has seen colonial rule, military presence, civil rights marches, protests, and celebrations. Placing Douglas there ties his 1889 speech to the long arc of the city's complicated racial history.
That's
All right.
really pretty cool. And by the time he visited, Douglas was already internationally respected. He had written multiple autobiographies, served as a U.S. Marshal and diplomat, and had advised presidents. Yet he was still traveling, still speaking, still advocating decades after emancipation. His presence here reminds us that St. Augustine was not isolated from national conversations about freedom and equality. We were part of it, absolutely. This statue roots that truth in physical space. Frederick Douglass believed that freedom required participation. He once said that progress demands struggle, not chaos, not hatred, but engagement. There is something powerful about a city choosing to honor someone who challenged it to be better. And this moment, I think, is just really, really special.
I think it's really cool, and the statue looks amazing. Thank you, Mel.
It is a beautiful
Yeah,
statue.
can you hit that meme number 5 one more time?
Yeah.
Take a look at that.
He has
beautiful.
flowers, too.
I like that he's sitting down too. It looks a little bit more personal.
taking a break.
Because I've seen other bronzes of him and he's standing up. He looks very stoic, but I think this is a really cool thing, and I love that it's the location of this is Chef's Kiss. I think
And
that's
look, you
really
can
cool.
sit
Yeah.
next
I was
to
gonna say you
him.
can sit next to him, which I
Yeah.
think is really cool. Because
Yeah.
when I was in Malaga, Picasso has a statue there. Like there's a Picasso statue, and
Uh-huh.
he's sitting. So a lot of people will sit with him,
Yeah.
and take a picture sitting
I
with
love
him.
that.
And I want to go take a picture sitting with
needs-
him.
And
He's
Bad
taking
Boy
a break.
Henry Flagler is sitting too on like the north part of town, so people sit next to him
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah.
He was a bad boy, guys.
Bad
Okay.
boy.
All right, what you gonna do when they come for you?
Here we
Great
go.
segue. Jacksonville officer overtime scandal. Shimi, get into this one. This
Oh, no.
sounds like a Netflix subplot, but it's real life and messy. A Jacksonville sheriff's officer has been arrested and accused of claiming more than 200 hours. Look how cute. He's so
Ew.
cute. I think he's very
Keep reading
handsome.
your script.
He looks cute. No.
Anyway.
Well, he has said he claimed more than
He has said.
200 hours of overtime he allegedly never worked. That's about $14,000 in extra pay. But here's the twist. During some of those alleged overtime hours, he was reportedly in a relationship with his boss. Dun, dun, dun,
Guys,
A
don't-
division
Are
chief.
we sure this isn't a Sunshine Shenanigans?
Right,
This is
I
like-
could have remixed this right
Oh
now.
my.
So now Homeboy is
Yeah.
facing felony charges, falsifying time records. The chief was resigned. Her appointment is under internal investigation.
Bleh.
Child, this ain't about paperwork. It's about public trust. That's
Okay,
for sure.
I'm going
None.
off script here. Shocker. Don't mix your money with your honey.
Bro!
Because there are strict rules in like governmental offices,
Uh-huh.
okay, where you cannot sleep with your supervisor or your superior, whatever.
Why?
What is a thing? Like you can't do that.
I know. I learned.
Fire.
Exactly because of this situation.
I learned
Well,
the
she's
hard
Probably
way.
approving his overtime.
Well, here's the other part of this that kind of pisses me off
There's
a
a
little
reason why I'm not in New York anymore.
bit.
Running from the law.
He was the leader of the motorcycle cops. Like that was his thing. He oversaw that whole department. But here's what kind of pisses me off. Not kind of does piss me off about
Yeah,
this.
we know.
The fact that you're supposed to be out there keeping people safe and you're at your boss's house banging it out. Like,
I
what do you-
mean,
get it?
romance is real. Let me see that cute face one more time.
Hold
Image
on,
number
I gotta
two.
get it.
I'm
Which
with Mel.
image is
He's
it
not
by?
cute.
Two.
No,
No.
no.
Jesus Christ, Melanie.
No.
2. Oh, look at the face.
Ew.
No.
Okay. No. Look at the face.
He's so
No.
I'm
cute.
glad he got in trouble. You're using taxpayer dollars. And now
Yeah,
that's
you don't
why
like
my
that.
Winn-Dixie across the street closed because you're doing bad things. That's why. It's not
It
why.
all trickles down to
To
you
my Winn-Dixie.
and the Winn-Dixie.
I'm so sad.
Oh, well, let's get happy with Old Town Trolley, shall we?
Ding, ding. Wait.
sit back and relax and take it easy, baby, and let it go as Old Town Trolley's licensed and talented tour conductors share over 500 years of St. Augustine history. Guests will enjoy the city's European flavor, brick-lined streets, and sites such as the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Henry Flagler's former Ponce de Leon Hotel. This 90-minute tour features 22 stops and covers more than 100 points of interest. Guests can use their ticket all day for on and off reboarding. You got to check out hometownpass.com.
So you guys were laughing because Abby set us up with these really great, like, I can now park images on the stream deck, and homegirl over here gets nervous and she just starts clicking all the buttons like a Muppet.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so my friend Dean, he's the one who does details by Dean. He's in comments right now. He was the IT guy when we worked together at the Department of Health, okay?
Yeah.
So he would come to my office to help me with my IT stuff, basically, because I can only turn a computer on. I really suck with it. But the problem is when I get nervous and there's like technology in front of me, instead of just sitting back waiting for someone to help me, I don't know what happens to my hands.
Something happens. It's like Tourette's.
Just click. That's why you guys saw. We're doing the story about the cop and you saw a random tiger picture go by.
Like she just has like finger Tourette's. It's like, and it's like the whole show. It's a giant spaceship. All right, let's get into this Flavor Flav story. I've got to get this on the
love
books.
This. I know.
Flavor.
We're going unscripted, by the way, Sonnies. We have zero script for this.
This
but
is
it's such a
exactly
hot
what we should be
topic.
like, but
Yeah.
here we go.
In
Training
real
wheels off. All right, Ixiim, take it away.
So, as we all saw, and we just kind of alluded to, there was some sort of controversy at the Olympics in that the U.S. women's hockey team and U.S. men's hockey team both won gold medals,
Yes.
which is phenomenal. It's outstanding. And so we all should be celebrating, right? That I think is the biggest thing. We should have all been celebrating that. But post-win, something happened that sort of has changed the
something
narrative.
happened on purpose.
Yeah. One team got an invitation to the White House and one team was the
Who
afterthought.
wants to go there anyway?
And we talked about this, never be someone's afterthought. Remember we talked about this the other day on the show? Do not be someone's afterthought. So because of that, there was someone else who stepped up. And that, I was saying, my 90s rappers, those of us who are Gen X and
This is who raised us.
early millennials,
Listen.
these 90s rappers are coming up and showing up big time. So
This
Flavor
is who raised
Flav
us, yeah.
stepped up and
Yes.
publicly posted an image on social media saying, hey, let's lift these women up. I want to do
Yeah.
something special for them. Come out to Vegas. We're going to have a big party. We're going to get you dinner and
Air
tickets and
Canada
all this
joined
thing.
the list.
And he called it out. He said, every company, I'm putting this out to you, any company who wants to step up and be part of the celebration, drop your name here. And people are stepping up big times. MGM Resorts World is going to give all the rooms. Alaska Air is donating flights. A bunch of places are donating restaurants. I think Ramsey's is donating meals and things. And
Listen.
StubHub's giving show tickets. Inheritance Collective
Get
stepped
ju-
up and
listen.
offered vintage jewelry to all of them, and they
So-
were all accepted. So
Oh my God,
Here's the
that's
deal.
amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Men's hockey team, I'm so glad you enjoyed your trip, and I'm so glad you enjoyed your cold McDonald's. But don't count Flavor Flav out, because this is like the 6th time
Well,
he's
I
done
think it's
stuff like
really
this.
funny that a lot of people do call Flavor Flav out, especially over the years. I know some of the
Yeah.
seasoned people out there that always thought he was a degenerate asshole, and now look, he is absolutely not. Like he's really stepping up and stepping forward. And you said 6 times.
He's done this. This is now the 6th time he's
Yeah,
done this.
so-
A lot of times he does it, and he does not put it out there.
Pretty
Yeah, so
amazing.
he's been doing this for years. I guess it was like, I want to say 8 years ago or something
Yeah.
like that. The U.S. women's water polo team was
That's-
underfunded.
yep.
Yeah.
And he stepped up and sponsored them. And he's since gone on to sponsor the bobsled teams, the skeleton teams. There was an interview or something where he shared that he has enough money for himself. So what he's using his money for now is to lift up women's sports and to elevate them, to support them. And I think that's freaking phenomenal. The fact that here is a person, a private individual who has stepped up and said, you know what, women's sports aren't getting enough recognition. I'm going to do something to change it. There's the power of the one person doing something,
Do
right?
it.
So cool.
Well, you want to hear about power of change?
What?
It's a hard segue.
That didn't segue at all.
But, well, power of change, because a lot of people thought this animal was a mythic creature and did not even exist. But it's Stepball change over to Thailand right now. They have sightings of the fire tiger. This will be number 3.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that.
Is he related to the fire horse?
So, well,
I think they're cousins.
it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting coloration for this specific species. They're all red, and so a motion detector camera out in the wilderness of Thailand caught this incredible creature, and it was one of the rarest sightings in the cat world. So, what makes this remarkable, Mel?
So here's what makes this sighting remarkable, David. Trail cameras used in wildlife research to monitor species without disturbing the habitat. They trigger when motion is detected and record animals in their natural movements.
Yeah.
In this case, the image showed a big cat with a highly unusual coloration, almost flame-like patterns that are not typical of tigers, leopards, or other known big cat species. Just ask Joe. Joe Exotic? He will tell you all about the cat species.
Right.
So scientists say sightings like this are extremely rare and can be the result of a unique genetic expression, lighting anomalies, and previously undocumented traits in the wilds. So here's another really cool thing science can do, not just teach us the mitochondria as a powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah.
yes.
Big cats are often among the least understood of the large mammals because they're living in mostly dense forests, dense jungles where humans aren't there. So the fact that there was a trail camera that was able to capture this, who was it that has the bird cam? Someone I know. Anyhow,
A bird cam?
Yeah, I think my friend Jennifer has one.
Oh,
yeah, so
she can watch that. Actually, I'd
It has
rather
an
watch the
app.
birds than be close to them. It's
Yeah,
the beak.
so every
I get
time a
I
nervous.
hate birds.
every time a bird goes near the bird feeder, it turns on
Oh,
a
yeah, and
camera.
it has
a
an
camera.
app.
Yeah,
Right?
there's an
Yeah,
app so you can
it's
see
the
in
app.
there. So I think this is really cool. We're using technology to learn
Yeah.
more about species, and it goes to show that there are still mysteries out there. There's still a lot we don't know about the world. So to see something so rare, what a cool thing.
Yeah.
So what a cool thing is we're going to go express on this next story because we got to get this poor thing
I
in, this
know.
poor story.
Oh, no, I lost my
Ancient
paper.
Egyptian artifacts. Well, I'll go real quick. It's no big deal. Ancient Egyptian artifacts were recovered within 24 hours, Mel. Well, there was a museum in Australia that had these Egyptian artifacts, including a 2,600-year-old wooden cat statue, a 3,300-year-old necklace, and a mummy mask. And they were all found within 24 hours. Save the day.
Wow.
End of story.
Very good. Who's ready to jam out today?
Let's
Let's
jam!
do it. First up is Miss Whitney Houston with I'm every woman. It's all in me.
Anything you want done, baby,
I'll do it naturally.
Whoa.
So Whitney's 1992 version was produced by Clyde Davis for the Bodyguard soundtrack and helped reintroduce the song to a new generation. The original was written by Shaka Khan in 1978.
Hey, yes.
And who likes to be part of the Rhythm Nation?
People in the world today, are we living for a better way of life? Hey, we are a part of the Rhythm Nation.
Hey.
Rhythm.
Released in 1989, this song was part of the Rhythm Nation 1814 album because the only album in history to produce 7 top 5 singles on the Hot
Wow,
100.
it was an absolute
That was-
banger of an
yeah.
album.
Let's do one more. My mom's favorite.
Yeah, we
I know
got
which one.
to.
My mom's favorite.
At first I was afraid.
I was petrified.
Thinking how I can never live without you by my side.
There we go.
There we
Miss
go.
Gloria
I will
Gaynor. So released in 1978, this disco anthem became one of the most enduring empowerment songs ever recorded. It won a Grammy for Best Disco Recording.
I love that.
And my
I know.
mom won some awards for karaoke for singing this. You go,
Woo!
Maria.
Way to go, Maria. Karaoke
Hey.
queen.
Okay, so what is your guys' go-to karaoke song then? What is it?
Oh, I got mine. What's yours?
I don't know. Gosh.
Mine is Who Will Save Your Soul by Jewel, and I hold that
Ew.
note. I do. Oh, why ew? Jewel
For a
like
karaoke
shaped my
song?
childhood. Thank you very much.
Her Alaskan
no.
heritage.
I love her. Who will save your soul? Thank you.
Oh, look, yeah. You got
Okay,
it.
then.
Okay.
What's
All right.
yours, Missy?
Mine is Come Together by the Beatles.
Come together right now over me. Oh, that's a
Ixiim,
great
you're up.
song.
What you got?
Okay, my nerdy inside the theater kid. Summer lovin'.
Summer lovin' had me a blast. Yeah, that's a
I
great
don't know.
song. I met a girl crazy for me. Yeah.
I met a boy, cute as can be. I love it.
That's
Yes.
fun. Well, you're gonna love this story too, because we love a little angsty. We've got a Sunshine Shenanigans story about the $3 tip that launched a legend. So gather around.
No, I'm breaking your computer the next time you go to. I'm changing it.
Because this is not a news story. This is number 4. There she is.
Look
The-
at her. She's at Catch Me Outside.
So this legendary lady wrapped in orange shorts over from a Hooters in Miami on Friday night. A bachelor party was having like a lot of wings and a lot of stuff going on. 14 rounds of wings, 9 pitchers of beer, fried pickles like confetti, and a regret parade.
That's like a stomach ache.
They had birthday singing for not once but twice, maybe 3 times a grown man. Our heroine broken, Brianna Vasquez. 3 hours of hustle, 3 hours of balancing trays, flirting with eyes on the road, pup, and dodging spilled ranch like it was from an animal trough. Then the check lands, $497. The table huddles together like negotiating a hostage release. And what do they leave? A $3 tip.
Shut up.
3.
You're all getting beer spilled on your freaking lap.
You what? You want to get your blood pressure even higher?
Yeah.
They wrote on the receipt that says, a handwritten note, sorry, babe, Venmo is broken.
I'm going to break your face
And
now.
so was her
your
patience.
face is about to be broken.
Witnesses say Brianna stared at the receipt for a full 90 seconds. That's total shock and recalibration. Then slowly, she removed her apron, folded it gently, and placed it on the table like a mic being set down before the final verse. That was not resignation. It was ignition. She walked, not ran.
She took her hoops off.
She walked, took her hoops off through the restaurant and out the door and across the parking lot. Power stride, her shoulders were back square, destiny in motion. When she reached their SUV, she did not knock. She planted herself directly in front of it. Arms crossed like the Statue of Liberty and just walked and waited 3 hours on you. Someone who tries to slide $5 more through the window, she crumples it and tosses it back and reportedly says, that's not what accountability looks like here, sir.
Yes!
Right? They say the standoff
Standing
lasted
up
for
for
about
herself.
20 minutes. Of course, the police were called. Of course. The crowd grew and people started filming. She wouldn't back down. Charges were filed for disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and $500 bail. Ironic. But here's the twist. The video went viral. She got millions of views and podcast offers.
What? Girl,
right?
come on, Sonny.
So from a $3 ripoff tip to a platinum-sponsored platform, I think she's a queen and she's winning in this
Yeah,
situation,
she is,
right?
girl.
I agree. She stood up for herself.
God
Use her
bless.
voice. She used your voice.
Here we go. I got a letter from Elise P. in Denver, Colorado.
I got a 4-page letter.
She writes to me.
It with a kiss.
And she says, Dear Mel, I discovered my partner has a notes app listed entitled Things to Improve About Me.
Oh, about the
About
She
her?
found a letter, her partner.
Elise.
Yeah, the partner
Oh, notes
has
about
a
her.
letter. Yeah.
Elise
Okay.
from Denver, yeah.
It has bullet points. There are categories. He says it's for growth. Mel, it is formatted.
At
Is
least
this
it's not
self-awareness
public, yeah.
or am I dating a performance review? Girl,
Yeah, what do you
No.
gotta say?
tell him.
What do you gotta say?
I am your partner. I am not a project. If
Yeah.
you want some bullet points, let me give you this one. You
Yes.
can leave your key while you exit my house.
Oh, speaking of exit, Sonnies, we've got to get into this incredible weekend. I want you to say the brave thing this week. Make the move, knock once, then open the door yourself. If it creaks, good. That means it hasn't been used by anyone else. This weekend isn't about being liked. It's about being aligned. Own your ground, plant your flag, step forward like the floor was poured with your name on it. Don't dim, don't dilute, don't delay. Show up like the forecast depends on you.
Ah,
love
shout out
that.
Ixiim for taking time to be in the studio with us. She is our
Thank
queen
you.
of all things Inspo.
Yes,
Love it.
so
Thank you
good.
for having me. Always happy to be here.
Hey guys, don't drift off too far. The Sunshine Brigade will be back at 3 o'clock for Afternoon Delight.
Hey.
These Reddit reports, guys.
So good.
If you guys are
So
missing
good.
Afternoon Delight, that is a disservice on you. You have got to tune in at 3 o'clock today. We got a spicy one. We love you guys so much. Share the show, babes. Bye, Sunnies.